Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, I wanted to talk about my 2023 goals and how we're gonna get there. Now, obviously you guys already know like the importance of setting goals, blah, blah, blah. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I think I wanna do it a little bit differently, how I structure it, and kind of basing this off of my own situation in life and where we're going from here. When you think of goals, you sort of think of big picture, your manifestation of what you want your life to be like and where you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years. And I have that understanding. I know where I want to go. I have this general idea of where I want to be financially, from a health standpoint, and like I understand what the end goal is going to look like. At least I have a good enough general idea. Obviously things change as you move along in your career or when tragedy inevitably strikes. However, I understand what that end goal is going to be. And I know where I'm at now. What I want these goals to do is help me bridge this gap. I'm trying to get from here, where I'm at, to this idea of what I want my life to be like. And I want these goals to be immediate, actionable steps that I can take to this dream life that I'm looking for. I feel like in the past, a lot of my goals have been very big picture and very sort of, this is the overall year what I'm looking to accomplish. And they weren't super actionable. At this point in my life, I'm looking for the next steps. I know I want to own a bunch of real estate, but what is the next step in order to get there? That's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. So because of that, I broke this down into quarters, Q1, 2, 3, and 4, just like a traditional business. Now, I only did Q1 right now, and I'd like to actually go back every quarter and do these goals quarterly for the year, opposed to just having general yearly goals. I just feel like that's way too broad. I like actionable things that I can work for in the next couple of weeks, not an overall goal that I kind of already know, but it just seems, it sort of distances yourself from it, and it just makes it feel so much farther out there. I'm looking for the next steps to achieving what I inevitably know I want. So here are the Q1 goals for 2023. I used to have a big long list of things and I kind of broke it down into 4 separate parts here. These are kind of the 4 areas of my life that I'm looking to improve right now. So January, February, March, this is what we're looking to accomplish. For perspective, it's about the middle of December right now where I'm looking at these. I separated these into 3 categories for the quarter. And then at the end, I have just a list of more so general goals that I'm trying to accomplish throughout the year. And I want to use that to base my goals off of for the next couple quarters. The 4 categories are business, investments, health, and education. I only have a few goals in each. I would rather have a couple goals that I really shoot for and try to accomplish than like years in the past. I've had like 10 goals in each category, and you can't possibly focus on 40 things at once. I want to focus on the important things and then forget everything else. So let's start with the category of business. This is the one I have the most goals in. That's 3 goals. My first goal for business is to up my business income to $1,000 a month by the end of the quarter. Currently, my business income is around $200 a month, so that's kind of a big gap we need to bridge. However, I have some better ideas about how to do that, and I think it'll be a lot easier once I get into it. My plan is to actually start probably a service-based company, something that I can provide a service for. Keep in mind, this would be a high value, high dollar service, and something like that is not gonna be terribly hard to get a large amount of income from. And your income is your best wealth building tool. So it's really important that we up that. And from a career standpoint, my job pays me off of a salary. So I don't have overtime. It's not like I can just work extra to get more money. Like, my business is the way of creating wealth. Your job can only provide you with so much. Now, the second goal here is to increase my span and audience. My audience is made up from followers from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. I'm interested in increasing all of that. Right now, my total following on all of those is around 55,000 followers. That's subscribers, TikTok followers, everything. An extremely large majority of those are on TikTok. At the end of Q1, I'm hoping to have that number at 60,000. I think that's pretty reasonable. And some of the steps I've already taken to do that is I've hired an editor, which has helped me out a lot because that's helped me to make more content and also just post more on other platforms. Basically, what my editor's provided me with now is content redistribution. Cutting up my long form content like YouTube videos, which I've made a plethora of them, into shorter content that I can then post on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that stuff. Now, the third business goal is to increase my equity or investments to $50,000. Right now, my total invested net worth is about $40,000. Now, I'm not talking about overall net worth, which takes into account your debt. At the time of filming this video, I don't really have much debt. I probably have $9,000 worth of debt, and that's all on my Corvette. However, at the end of the quarter, which I will get into this next, I will have a lot more debt. All of my investments and equity into investment related things, I'd like to up that to about $50,000. I think that's decently reasonable. Now, getting into the category of investments. This category has two goals. The first one, and probably the second most important one next to that business income that I'm looking for, is I want to buy a house. I really want to purchase a home for a variety of reasons. One, after college, I moved back in with my parents and I really just want my own space. Living at home with your parents kind of is a catch-22. You save money and it allows you to not spend as much on rent or whatever else you may have to spend money on. However, at the same time, I just don't feel independent and I don't feel good about it. I'm very blessed that I have a family that supports me, but at the same time, I feel like it sort of makes me soft. And arguably a more important reason why I'm looking to buy a house is not just for me. I don't really want this house just for me. Yes, I want my own space, but I want this to start my real estate portfolio. My second goal in this category of investments is to get roommates to help subsidize the cost of the house. I haven't totally decided about how I want to do this, and this is going to be a conversation that I'm going to have with my realtor and myself about how I want to kind of slice this up. It also depends on what opportunities might be out there. I want to either buy a single family home, a duplex, something where I can purchase it, live in it, but also have the space to rent out a portion of it. Maybe that might be renting out extra rooms in my own home or renting out the other half of my duplex. Whatever that's sort of the situation that I'm looking for. I just don't have an exact answer for it yet. It's probably going to depend on what opportunities arise. Now, the third category is health. In the first quarter of the year, I would like to run a half marathon. A couple weeks ago, I completed my first ever organized run. It was a 10K, which is about 6.2 miles. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed having this goal that I pushed for. Health has always been something that's very important to me, and a half marathon, I believe, is a good next step to where I want to take my health and my exercise in the future. Obviously, I do more health related things than just this. I've been lifting for about 8 years now. It's just something I do at this point. All of these things are new things to me that I'm trying to accomplish and do more of new things. I'm not gonna put here, I want to go to the gym because it's just something I do at this point. Like, I can't live without it, to be honest. I want to focus on new things and new challenges that I'm trying to accomplish. Going to the gym every day is just something that I normally do. It's just part of my day. It's just part of my life. So that's the next immediate goal that'll help me get more so to my yearly goals, is run a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. I don't think that'll be too challenging. I just have to run the 10K that I did basically twice. Now, the fourth category that I have here is education. I'm not talking about college education or school, mainly books. My goal for this quarter is to read 5 books. Self-help books, business books, things like that I think are gonna provide me with value. I also have some ideas about some courses I might wanna take to help me increase my business income. However, we're gonna keep it really simple right now. 5 books, that's it. One of the things that I like about all these goals is that they're short enough and they're actionable enough that I can achieve them. They're not super far out there. Like, if I made a goal to read 200 books in the first 3 months, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's just something I'm not gonna do. I won't even try because I know that it's pretty much close to impossible considering my schedule. So all of these goals are far enough out there that I need to struggle to get them, but they're still realistic and able to be accomplished. Now, that is it for quarter one. That's it for Q1. I want to move into some of the yearly goals. I'm going to be a little bit quicker on these. These are sort of the basic general idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. I think that these are all relatively realistic to accomplish within the year horizon. These ones might change a little bit moving forward. Obviously, I'm going to be in a different position a year from now than I am now. So we'll see. I might have new goals. I might decide to go a different path in certain ways. I still broke these up into the 4 categories, so let's get into it. Business, 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. At this point, I got about 2,500. So doubling my subscribers on YouTube in the year. I think it's realistic, especially with a lot of the short form content I've been producing. However, this one's gonna be pretty tough. Second, 70,000 TikTok followers. Right now, I got about 55. So I need to increase TikTok a lot. And my total follower count amongst all my platforms and audience, 80,000. The next one, I've been thinking about this for a little while. I'm not 100% sure yet how I want to do this, but I think I would like to start offering merch on my channel. It seems relatively simpler to do, and it seems like a good next step. The next one, I kind of mentioned this one earlier, a service-based company I would like to start. I think that's going to be my sort of big business that I focus on here while I create all this content and make content out of documenting the journey. The main reason I want to make this service-based company is because it's going to provide me with cash flow and things that help me accomplish all these other goals. Having something that provides you with cash flow that I can increase and that's consistent will allow me to make better investment decisions like buying houses and apartment complexes and all that kind of stuff. The next two goals on this list, pay off the Corvette, which should be definitely reasonable. Like I said, I've got about $9,000 left on that. And the next one is finish the sand rail. That project has been a Pandora's box of problems. So we'll see where that goes. Now the last one, and I would say maybe the most important one on this list, is increasing my yearly income, total yearly income. This includes rental properties, business, my job, my other job, just total income to $90,000. Right now, at the beginning of the year, it's probably at about $70,000. So I'd like to increase my income by 20 grand, which I think is decently reasonable. Investments. I'd like to increase my invested net worth to $100,000. This is basically just all of the equity I have in things, not including the debt. Right now it's about 40 grand. I think a $60,000 increase is pretty decently reasonable. Now the next one, it's very simple, but I would like to be a little bit safer. And I just want an emergency fund. I don't really have a good emergency fund right now, so I want to save 5 grand in my emergency fund. I think that's just something that would make me feel a little safer. And I think that's a good number at the moment considering what I'm kind of trying to do. In health, I haven't spoken about this on the channel yet, and I almost didn't want to speak about it because I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to do it, but I want to run a marathon. I kind of got addicted to running, and it's fun, and it's a challenge. I really enjoyed the challenge. I don't really have a time that I'm interested in completing it in yet. Same with the half marathon earlier. However, it's a challenge that I would like to overcome. One of the reasons why I didn't want to say it is because if I say it, then that means I have to do it. And I know that training for a marathon or really anything, it takes a lot of time. Even training for my 10K, which was like 6 miles, which is like 20% of the marathon, it just took a lot of time. Running takes a good amount of time. To run a marathon, it takes like 4-ish hours. Like that's a lot of time I have to train, a lot of additional time I gotta put in at the gym, running on the track, and also I still work out every day. So like I don't wanna just completely take away from my lifting schedule, but that's gonna be probably something at the end of the year, maybe November-ish, that I'll run the marathon. So it's gonna happen. We're gonna run a marathon. It's one of those things that I just kind of want to say I did. Anyways, moving on to the next one. Education. I have a pretty simple education goal. Read 20 books. That's it. 20 books throughout the year is not too challenging, and it's something I've definitely been itching to accomplish. So overall, some of these goals might change a little bit and evolve as the year moves on and as different opportunities arise. However, one of the things that I like about this, and I was kind of careful in order to do this, and I was kind of careful in order to try to make this happen, is that yes, these goals are out there, but one, they're an actionable thing and step that I can start moving towards. I know what I want, which is super far away, and I know where I'm at, which is where I am here. Like, what is the next step? That's what's very challenging a lot in my life, and what I've been trying to navigate is figuring out what my exact next step is. You know, I'm the guy with the machete trying to chop through the jungle and trying to see forward. I encourage you guys to make some goals for 2023, work on what your next steps are. If you want to follow along the journey, I'm on TikTok, I'm also on Instagram, so it'd be pretty cool to see you guys there. I hope you all have a great and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.